What's up, everybody? So, this is the last video of Jeffree Star. Whew, life been very busy. It's about to be the new year. Christmas have gone and passed. I've been trying to get this video. So the last video that I'm gonna do is called Recovering in Trials. So, as we all know, Jeffree Star have been going through some trials. Some heavy trials. And sad to say, he really haven't learned none of those trials that, where his situation is now. Also, recovering. Like I said in my previous video, excuse me, I just ate breakfast. You reap what you sow, and your demons will come back and haunt you. So, in other words, be careful what you say, be careful what you do to others, and be careful how you carry yourself. Obviously, I hope this would be a lesson learned for a lot of people who may come to the top of any type of social media platform. That be humble yourself. Have self-reliance. Have accountability, responsibility, discipline. Admit your own faults and stuff. Because, as you can see, if anybody can teach somebody, if you ever come on top and you ever trying to be dominant or controlling or whatever, look at Jeffree Star's life. His life in the beginning was a bunch of chaos and darkness and shame and disgrace. And then when YouTube came along, he started to clean up his act, but fame got to his head again. And then when he messed with James Charles, that's when his demons started to come back out. And that's when karma started setting in. And now he is at recovery and trials. So he pretty much failed the trials. Usually trials mean to face it and to acknowledge your wrong or your flaws and correct it, and then learn from your trials not to repeat the same mistake again. However, with him, he repeat the same mistake again. Now he's in recovery mode. He's very quiet. I'm pretty sure he got YouTube videos. I don't watch him like that. But I'm pretty sure he's trying to get back to a rhythm. But I'm afraid he cannot get back to a rhythm because of all the allegations and everybody's coming forward in so many evidence and receipts that people got him out there are showing the type of person that he is. Me personally, like I say, I think he needs to see a psychiatrist, a therapist, counseling, group therapy, because obviously there's something wrong inside him. And like I said, this is not being petty towards this guy, because all the stuff he did was uncalled for, disrespectful, mean, terrible acts. However, he needs to seek some help. Believe it or not, help comes in the way strangest ways. You know what I'm saying? It comes very strange. For example, I think about the movie called The 13 Ghosts. And the lady with the big old breasts, she has scars all over her body. I look up her story. Basically, she didn't feel like she was beautiful. So she keep having more surgery and more surgery and more surgery. To the point, every time she be with a man, the man left her. And she just felt like she was never pretty. So she went to a bathtub and slit her wrists and passed away like that. And her ghost is forever, roaming this earth because she don't feel like she's beautiful. Because all the men just abuse her and use her and left her. Well, that's just like Jeffree Star. He kept on, trying to find something that makes him look great or present himself greater. It's just like the 13 Ghosts of the movie with the lady with the big breasts. She kept having plastic surgery over again to look beautiful. And then she just cut her whole body up because nobody doesn't love her who she is from the outside instead of looking in the inside. And that's like Jeffree Star, if I'm making this clear. He's cutting himself in the outside, but really he needs to fix the inside. You can shape and mold the outside of your image, but if you don't shape the mold inside yourself, you're always gonna have a darkness, a brick wall, a stomping block. You're never gonna surpass whatever is inside of you that have a darkness inside of you. It's sad, but he ain't the only one on this planet that's dealing with something like that. I have a friend who asked me what I think about Jeffree Star, and I'm gonna post this video to show her what I think. But she believes that Jeffree Star need real true friends. And like I said in my other previous videos, Jeffree Star surrounded himself with fake people. Fake people is they're very interesting group, you know what I'm saying? They see the red flags, the endangerment, the toxicity. They can see all this bad stuff, but for whatever reason, fake people just roll with the punches. They just go with it. A real person wouldn't go with it. They be looking like, oh, hell no. You say what? We're gonna do what? Fake people don't have no self-conscious thoughts. I'm not trying to be mean, but that is the God honest truth. Because they're always trying to get ahead. They're always trying to dominate people. They're always trying to know it all. You know what I'm saying? So fake people don't have a self-conscious or self-awareness of their actions or what they're doing. They just go. And my friend, she think that Jeffree Star need real friends. He needs real people. He needs somebody to be around with legit people. True, but I'm like, in the beginning of his life, he should have been around with true people. She believes that he had true friends and they all use him or take advantage of him, and it made him the cold person that he is. Me personally, I got take advantage of in many different ways. Co-workers, family, friends, but it didn't make me as a cold-hearted person. It didn't make me as a narcissist. It didn't make me be, excuse me, an evil person towards so many others. Because when people did that to me, I look at it as a life lesson and stay clear away from those people. And I had two people that took advantage of me and apologized to me. One of them told me that they lost all their friends because how they were acting and how they were taking advantage towards their friends. He told me, he said he doesn't have any real friends. He doesn't have nobody. And he asked me, he was like, do you hate me? And I'm like, no. I don't hate you. Hate is a very strong word. I dislike what you done, but I forgive you. And he was just so thrilled about that. Forgiveness is a powerful, powerful thing, let me tell you. And holding a grudge, it makes you look old. Have you ever seen somebody that do hold a grudge? They look like The Walking Dead. And they just look like the Grinch. Like their eyes is like down. And they just look kind of old. And they just look, they have this weird look face. And their atmosphere is just like, you know. Because when you hold a grudge, it messes up your body. It messes up your body bad. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you old. You just look so old when you hold a grudge. So don't ever hold a grudge. Please don't. And then the other friend, she came out and apologized too. And she said the exact same thing. She said, "Do you hate me?" And I'm like, no, hate is such a strong word. I disagree with what you done to me, but I forgive you. And she also was happy and thrilled. You see, forgiveness is such a powerful thing. And when you forgive people, if you don't believe in God, but blessings will come back to you. Good things will come back to you. God will show himself, and so many doors will open when you forgive people, when you don't hold a grudge on people. You can be mad at that person for a minute, no doubt, but you should never hold a grudge, because you're going to end up being mean and nasty and hateful and evil. It's hard because there's a lot of evil society, misogynist people in this world. And a lot of them need to get their ass whooped, trust me. But you will have a huge group of friends when that one person acting so mean and disgusting, they only got their self. And they will be forever in the dark. So the main mission is stay in the light. Always have a forgiving heart. It's hard. It's hard. There's no question. But having forgiveness is a powerful, powerful thing. Now, y'all probably like, what does this have to do with Jeffree Star? He has to go around and apologize. He has to delay it straight. He has to come out and say what he really is. He needs to make himself vulnerable. If one thing for sure, when he gets like when he gets like viral and popular, he does apology videos, right? And most people like, oh, it's not apologetic, it's not like real, he's not sincere and stuff like that. And one thing, when I look at those videos when they end up being viral, I sit there and told myself, well, you need to be vulnerable. It seems like today people are scared to be vulnerable. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're out of control. It means you're just human. We're humans. We have trials and errors in our life. We have constantly made mistakes in our life. Constantly. Be vulnerable. Say what you are and say what you mean. Because his apologetic videos don't really sink in with a lot of people. Especially when you get busted or old things come up. Be vulnerable. Because I guarantee you, some people love to see people vulnerable. They're like, oh, you do have feelings. Oh, you do have self-conscious thoughts. Because when people look at his apology videos, they don't see somebody who's being vulnerable. They still see somebody keep their self sheltered and covered, and afraid to come out and say what's really on their mind. So, Jeffree Star, what he needs to do, he needs to apologize to everybody. He needs to say sorry about James Charles, because he hit that boy to a breaking point. But James Charles should have saw it coming, because the way he was acting too. I don't know why a lot of makeup artists are racist too. Like, damn, you know. But James Charles, he pretty much learned his lesson. Sort of, kind of. You know, but my thing is, you have to go around and apologize to people. You really have to do a vulnerable video. I mean, so vulnerable that you're almost halfway naked. Because people to this day don't believe any hanging word that you say. And just come out clear. Just come out legit. But you see, the reason why Jeffree doesn't want to do that, because in the industry of YouTube or any type of industry, if you show vulnerability, you're weak. You're unstable. You're not normal. No, being vulnerable is normal in certain situations, and this is one of them. So, to recover, he has to do a lot of apologies. He's got to do a lot of meditation, soul searching, and heal his mind, body, and soul. He has to apologize to Nate, whatever he did to him. He has to do a lot of cleanup, and it's hard. It's easy to destroy stuff, but it's harder to clean it up. And it's hard to face people that you really hurt. But like I say, that's up to him. He failed his trials, now he's got to be in recovery. All I can say is this. I don't know this man personally, but I've seen from MySpace days that I know him, and then now to the YouTube world, I can say one thing: this man needs to sit down and meditate and go somewhere quietly. Apparently people say he's going Wyoming. If that's the case, he better just sit down. Now, one more other thing, because I don't want to make this too long. Apparently he goes to church. And I remember Shane Dawson say that, he say, he say, you know, Jeffree believes in Christ and Jesus Christ, and he goes to church. Well, here's the thing. Obviously, they don't know nothing about the Bible and too much about God. When you walk with Jesus, you don't have all this chaos follow behind you. If anything, you would have light, love, happiness, holiness, and glory when you walk with God and walk with Jesus. Not chaos, not Armageddon, not messiness, not madness, not destruction, destroying somebody. That's not walking the path of the Lord. The Lord is a different path. He walks in the path of healing. He walks in the path of serving. He walks in the path of speaking the gospel about his son, Jesus Christ. That's the path that most Christians walk. Very few walk that way, but sad, a lot of them don't. Just because somebody goes to church doesn't necessarily mean they're a good person. I think that's ironic, because the way you can tell somebody who follows God is their actions, how they speak, how they carry themselves, and how they presented God and Jesus. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, because there is no such thing as a perfect Christian. There is no such thing as a perfect human. But there is a such thing of a human being knowing when they done wrong, they have to apologize. If they made a mistakes, they have to correct it. If they did a sin, they had to confess their tongue. Jeffree did none of those. So I thought that was funny that Shane Dawson was saying, oh, he's a Christian. And your point? If you don't walk with the Lord, you're not representing him. So what? People go to church. There's actually people that go to church and go right back out being mean and hateful. Put it this way: if Jeffree Star did go to church and listen to the Bible, you wouldn't be in the situation you'd be in. Tassie wouldn't be in the situation she's in. And Jeffree wouldn't be this damn silent. Just saying.